Death looms above and life hangs but by a thread. Remember this in everything that is thought, done, and said. I wear this on my neck every single day to remind me to live life because death can come at any time. And then it almost did. 7th October, Sun is on the right. My breathing is a little off. I can't tell exactly why. We all breathe with a certain rhythm. Everything in our body works with a rhythm. We don't know exactly what the rhythm is, but we know when everything is in harmony because we feel fine. But at this point, I could tell that mine was a little bit off. Like sometimes I take in a breath and then I forget to breathe out. Very weird. But as a human being, you're not supposed to be conscious about your breathing every single time. You're supposed to be conscious about other things like, when you want to piss or if you want to piss somebody off on purpose. Imagine having to pay attention for every single breath you take. We already pay too much for fuel and marriage. I'm on a video call with somebody. Marriage. Having a deep conversation and just pouring my heart out because I feel like shit and I'm so stressed about everything and nothing at the same time. And I feel like I'm going crazy, but I don't tell anybody because I feel like I'm Then all of a sudden on the call, I start feeling like something is off, like seriously off. I'm not focused clothes. I'm starting to believe that conspiracy that whenever the government makes a bad decision, she starts trending because it's just too off, like it just happens all the time. I don't understand. But something else was off in my body. I'm looking at my hands and I could see trails when I move. I'm so scared. My heart is beating really fast. Something was off. Every now and then I feel like I'm fading away into darkness and then I wake up. My body was going off. I go outside and I asked to be taken to the hospital right now because I was convinced that I was dying. I start writing down my passwords and my Momo codes just in case they need them to do something. Now that I think about it, I have to delete a lot of stuff from my devices and I have to throw some things away because some of the stuff I have on my phone and on my computer, there's no way I was making it to heaven that day. If I had died, I was not going to heaven. And that's why I had to make it to the hospital because I was the only one in the house who could drive. And Uber was out of the question. Because convenience and emergency, they don't go together. But what if they did? What if there was an Uber-like service for emergencies? That's where today's sponsor comes in. Imuba. Unless you live in a country where your forefathers made good decisions for development by making wicked decisions in other countries, or your country has still refused to make good decisions and they are blaming your problems on the past wicked decisions of more powerful countries, then your country you probably don't have enough ambulances in your country. And that's where Imuba steps in. A private ambulance service where you can get an ambulance quickly during any emergency while the government ambulances are still asking for the directions to somebody else's place. The app is simple. It has only one button that you press when you have an emergency and a private ambulance will get to you in no time while the government ambulance gets to the other person after they have died. Imuba will pay the cost of the trip for you and then if you don't die, you pay them later. If you do die, they'll collect the money from your insurance company, or if you don't have insurance, they'll collect it from your family. It's a business. They can't. What did you think? Use my code I shall not die because of my trash government to get 70% off your first emergency. Hopefully you don't have any emergencies. But if you do, use the code. But I didn't have Imuba, so I was in a taxi. The taxi's radio is on. It's an Ewe channel. They are talking about the people of Ashaman protesting about their bad roads. At the very moment where the woman on the radio says that, my taxi slows down and I get a little bit scared because I want to get to the hospital very fast. I feel like I'm fading away. Get me to the hospital fast. Why are you stopping? So I tried to look at what was wrong and the road ahead was crap. As the person on the radio is complaining about roads in another town in the same Accra. And I thought to myself, if I die today because of a bad road, when I get to heaven, I'm starting a petition. Get anybody who has been in charge of roads ever in the history of this country to go straight to hell. Because I'm not about to die because a road was not done on time and they were waiting for election year. And election year is next year. So next year, if I was dying, then I would have went to the hospital faster. That's not about to happen to me. And then I realized something very, very important. This is how political activists or any kind of activists are born. For the most part, because there are others who are born into rich families who don't have any struggle and so they want to feel important in the world, so they start protesting in the stupidest ways possible, like blocking roads, destroying historical paintings, or running onto football fields thinking that they are doing something. They are being stupid. That's not the way. The point is, you never truly know what you care about until something you don't care about almost kills you. See, there are many possible roads you walk down on if you have a near-death experience. Politics and social activism is one of them. Because in that moment, I felt this deep resentment for everybody who I thought was supposed to work on this and didn't work on it. All the assemblymen and all the local politicians, all the way to the top, I felt this deep resentment for them. And at that point, I was very, very political. I became very, very political. And knowing this, I got the solution to all our political problems. Pay close attention. This might be the only way we are going to make things better. Are you ready? Pray to God every morning for bad things to happen to the people who are supposed to fix these issues. Not too bad that it kills them, but bad enough that they almost die. Because I don't wish death on anybody, but near death, however, I think sometimes it's necessary. Okay, for some people it's necessary. The day someone takes a bribe and the money happens to have flesh-eating bacteria on it that almost kills them, all bribery will be stopped, or at least it will go down for some time. The day everybody at the passport office almost dies because of how slow and trash and corrupt their system is, all the problems will be solved. I don't know how that will happen, but trust me, if it did happen, we will be good. But maybe even that might not fix the issue, because when I got to the hospital, I walked into this very chilled, air-conditioned room. It felt so cool. And as soon as the AC hit my face, I forgot about all the political things. Like, well, who cares? Who gives a fuck about everybody else? They don't give a fuck about me, okay? I'm over here trying to solve my own issues. I'm fighting for my life. Fight for yourself. And I imagine that's what happens when a president finds himself on a plane being flown to another country to get medical care, because the healthcare in his own country is so shit that even he can't use it, and he is in charge of fixing it. At the hospital, they check my blood pressure and it is really high, crazy high. It's like 180/90 or some number, and for my age, I'm not supposed to have anything close to that. My heart was racing really fast all the way to the afterlife. I felt like falling on the floor and just closing my eyes, but I kept telling myself in my head,
hold on as long as you can.
I saw a man holding a crying baby, and I had this crazy thought that, what if I am that baby and I'm about to die right now and I have reincarnated as that baby? And that baby was not even a newborn baby, because the baby had been brought to the hospital, the baby was sick. But I just kept thinking, oh my God, am I reincarnating right now? Is that what's happening? But I'm here, so I guess it wasn't me. And also the baby wasn't cute. You know, it wasn't a nice baby. No offense to the family, but like that baby is not going to grow up to look like me, okay? I'm not like a finance or anything, but that baby is not going to look like me. But as I'm looking at this ugly baby, I start to fade away again. But then I turn around and I saw somebody. No, it wasn't Jesus Christ. This is not one of those stories. It was a human being, and this person's face, just like the baby, was not nice. I mean, I apologize once again for calling anybody ugly, so I won't say it again. But what happened was, I saw this person's face, I started fading away, and then I saw their face in my head, and I had this instant motivation to come back to life. I woke up again, because that face cannot be the last thing I see before I die. Are you crazy? No. What? I don't want the last thing I see to be an ugly face. Okay, sorry once again. Now I appreciate ugly people a lot more. I think they have a very important purpose in this life, because it's a good source of motivation. Okay, why is the makeup industry so huge? Because people do not want to be ugly. Why do men work so hard? Because they don't want their wives to be ugly. And it's not just people, it could be other things. You don't want to live in an ugly house, you don't want to be in an ugly country, which is why half of us are all moving away. And I'm very grateful for that ugly person, because without them, if it was a beautiful person, I probably would have died peacefully. And that's not good. You understand? And beautiful people have a role to play too, because they make life colorful, they make things nice. So let's say a person was in the hospital and there was no chance of survival. You know, you need to sack all the other people and then let only the beautiful nurses and doctors come around them. Look at them, you know, if they have their family around, you sack the ugly family members, let the fine ones come in, you understand? Let them look at their faces, you know, and then things will be easier. But in the emergency ward where the people are like, they're not dead yet, but they are almost dying, no. You can't have any nice people over there, because it makes people feel too comfortable. And they might not know the difference between your face and heaven. By the way, if this part offends you at all, if you feel uncomfortable or a little bit angry at everything I'm saying, that should tell you where you stand on the attractiveness scale. But don't worry, we all know that beauty is not everything. If you agreed with me right now very strongly, you also know where you stand on the attractiveness scale. Okay, it's not I did it, please don't blame me. Okay, so after that, I was led from the AC room into a hot room onto a bed. Now while I'm on this bed, I'm still fighting to hold on. I looked to the left and I saw a Bible over there. It was a blue New Testament Bible, but it was the big version, and it was over there on a little table. And this point is where things get a little bit more intense. You see, back in the taxi, struggling to breathe with so much going through my mind and so much fear inside me, I could feel there was something I wasn't doing. There was something I had to do, but I just couldn't remember it. And that's when I heard a voice that said to me, "You, this boy, you are very stupid. You are dying, and you are not going to pray and ask for forgiveness of sins. What if you die right now? Where are you going? Are you going to heaven? Instead of you to pray to God to forgive your sins and clear your everything and put your name in the book of life, thinking about the roads, You. Then I woke up and I started praying to God. I started asking for forgiveness. I will be nice to everybody. I won't insult people again. I won't look at girls again. The nurses at the hospital were very nice. So as soon as I got to the hospital, that part was broken. But I said a prayer in the car. So back to the hospital and the Bible. For some reason, I opened John 3:16. Maybe it's because it's the most popular scripture ever. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish. And before I could finish the verse, I started thinking, what if I was a Muslim? There's no Quran over here. Are Christians the only one who are allowed to connect with their maker before they die in this hospital? What if I was a traditionalist? Where is the calabash and the schnapp? What if I was into astrology? Where is the book about Jupiter ascending and Gemini dick rising? Where is it? Because one time my friend was sick and I went to visit him in Kolebu, and there was a pastor preaching in the morning. We were doing morning devotion. I'm like, where are the other religions? Don't you guys, you don't do evangelism? And let's take it even further. What if you die and you've never heard about Jesus Christ before? Like our forefathers or the uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, where somebody tried to go and preach to them and they almost killed him, or they killed him, I think. If the Christian afterlife is the only real one, as we Christians like to believe, wouldn't that be an awkward conversation for Jesus Christ? What is this? Where am I? Why is this place so white? You are dead. Oh shit. Language, please. You are in heaven and I'm Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Who are you again? Jesus Christ, Son of God. Son of God. Are you saying God had a wife? Yes. No, I'm not a biological son. We are like three different gods, but we're like the same person. It's a whole thing that I myself don't really understand. But wait, hold on. You're saying you've never heard about me before? Like my name doesn't ring a bell? What is a bell? Jesus Christ, I did miracles, walked on water, saved a prostitute. I'm in the Da Vinci Code. The most famous man in history. I died and rose again. People say my name when they trip and fall. Women say my name during sex. You've never heard about me? Sounds like you should be a big deal in the world, but I'm sorry, nobody ever mentioned your name in our village. Well, in that case, I'm sorry, but you are going to hell, where you will suffer for eternity for not knowing a famous man like me after everything I did. Do you know how painful it was to die? Like, do you even know any religious leaders like Krishna, Cristiano Ronaldo, Muhammad? Oh yeah, I know Muhammad. That guy is the bomb. Religion, that's another road you walk down on. Many people connect to a higher power when they feel like they're about to die because it's scary. You don't know what is beyond, right? Nobody has gone and come back. Even the hardcore atheists, they must think about it for like a second or two if they're about to die. And I came up with many possible theories. Because I was thinking I'm going to miss my family and my friends and everybody when I die. So like how long will it be before I see them? Then I started thinking, oh, if you're a spirit, then maybe you don't experience time the way human beings experience time. Because human beings will live within time, but spirits don't live within time. So maybe in the afterlife, my spirits will be able to travel through time to the point where my loved ones all die and then we can reunite. So like the way you're able to travel a distance from here to another place, maybe distance in the other world is time. So let's say I can walk from 2023 to 2051 the same way a human being will walk from like Circle to Akramo. I don't even know if that makes any sense or if that can be supported by any science or physics, but I was thinking that maybe distance in our world, in our physical world, is equivalent to time in the other world, where like you can travel through distance and through space over here. Not through distance, you travel a distance through space in time. But then like when you exist outside of time, you can travel through time like as if time was distance. Does that make any sense? I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I was thinking. Or maybe heaven and hell is real, and I do want to go to heaven, but what does eternity mean in a world where we don't experience time the same way we experience in this universe? If God is timeless, then what does forever mean? Because forever is a measurement of time. But the most important lesson I learned throughout this horrible experience is that all roads lead to death. Every single decision you make in your life at every single second is leading you to the end of your life. You might think you are only pushing towards a better life, but you're also being pulled towards the end. As far as your death is concerned, every single decision you make is right, because it's the right decision you have to make in that very moment to lead you towards the right time that you get out of here. The main question that I had to answer, and everybody has to answer, is what are the quality of your decisions? Because some decisions are better than others. Because we are all going to the same place, but some roads are better than others. So are you eating a full chicken at midnight when you know it's not good for your body? You are going to die. But if you eat healthy, you exercise every day, and you sleep well, then in that case, you are also going to die. Didn't you hear what I just said? What did you think? You thought I was going to live forever? We are all going to the same place. But one of those decisions is much better than the other. I don't have to say which one it is. You already know which one it is. And does that mean that bad decisions will always lead you to death faster? Not really, because you can ask Jesus Christ. Okay, the disciples, they made the best decisions in life, but they all died in the most horrible ways. Once again, all roads lead to death. But the main point is making good decisions will greatly reduce the chances of you killing yourself, like I almost did. So please take care of yourself. Don't do bad things to your body, and realize that this life is a gift. This thing is not yours. You're a visitor over here. It was here before you existed. It will be here after you are gone. And no matter what happens, always remember that I still won't ask you to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. I will ask you to leave a comment below. Let me know think about the video. Let me know think about the whole thing. Yeah, so I had to take a long break because you know, everything I just said. So I'm back now. I'm back. I'm posting like the way I used to, maybe quite a little bit more regularly now. And never forget that Jesus loves you way more than less does, and he'll see you guys soon in another video. Sing the song.
I go never ever ask you to like and subscribe, but you go fi share my video if you know you're feeling my vibe. People, I go never ever ask you to like and subscribe, but you go fi share my video if you know